some questions to you. What do you think about living organisms? Is it for which type of things we call as living organisms? Yes, your answer is that, and what you are thinking that is right, my dear students. We human beings are living organisms, is it? And also all other animals, birds, insects which have lifespan. What is meant by lifespan? They have birth date and also the death date, is it? So which are having certain lifespan, all those are called as living organisms, is it? All those are called as living organisms. And my dears, what about the lifespan? That may be 100 years, that may be 20 years, that may be 10 years, or that may be a single day or a few hours or few minutes or few seconds. But they should have birth as well as death. All those are called as living organisms. And in this chapter, they have given some common characteristic of every living organism. Okay, common characteristics of every living organisms. What are those characteristics? Already you might have known that living organisms means they need food. Is it? What we are doing daily? We are getting up and we are taking bath and doing all other activities, daily activities, and then we will drink tea or coffee. That is one kind of food we are having to get energy to lead our life. Is it? Like that, all other living organisms too need food. Is it? And every living organisms will grow, and every living organisms will move from one place to another place where it is actually the comfortable, and so many characteristics it will show. Is it? In today's class we shall learn about those common characteristics, and the very first characteristics of that is they need food. Okay, first characteristic is they need food. And Jagdish Chandra Bose, our Indian great scientist, have shown us that plants do have life. Is it? Plants do have life. But do they need food? Do you think they do have consuming food? They do consuming food. They do need food, and they are also having some kinds of food for themselves. Yes, my dears. Already I have told about this in the nutrition of plants. Is it? In your chapter nutrition of plants, they too need food. They are taking water and dissolved mineral salts which is dissolved in the soil itself. They take water and dissolved mineral salts, and by using sunlight they prepare their own food inside the leaf, inside the stomata. Okay, and they will store it in form of starch, and that will be supplied to all parts of the plant for its growth. Okay, for its work. Is it? Here, like that, human beings also consume food. Is it? To stand or to do work, to make something, we need energy. Where do we get energy? We get energy by the food which we are going to intake. Is it? Like that, even insects, birds, water animals, and some other wild animals, domestic animals, whatever that may be, even a mosquito or ant too are taking a food. Is it? This is the very first characteristic of a living organisms. Okay, characteristic of a living organism is, first thing is they need food. Whatever that may be a small insect to huge blue whale, they will take food for their living. Okay, so this is the first characteristic. Second one, they respire. Is it? We respire. Just observe yourself. If you sit quietly, you can listen to your breath. Is it? While doing pranayama or something, you will observe your breathing. Is it? That breathing process itself is called as respiration. And in some organisms, specialized organs called respiratory organs have been developed. In some other animals, the respiration takes place through skin itself. So, through body parts itself. Is it? The skin itself. And in human beings, we have very good respiratory organs. Very good respiratory organs. It starts from nose itself. Is it? We respire through nose. We intake the oxygen and gives out the carbon dioxide. Is it? We intake oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. This process itself is called as respiration. All other animals intake oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. But what about plants? Yes, my dears, here plants also respire. Okay, plants also respire and they will take carbon dioxide inside and release oxygen. Means that is the reverse process of human beings. Okay, reverse process of human beings. Here, this respiration takes place in plants through the leaf, where actually the stomatas are present inside the leaf. Those stomatas help the plant to respire, means to give out oxygen and intake of carbon dioxide. Okay. Next one is excrete. Excrete means we are eating some kinds of food and it get digested, it get absorbed and it releases some amount of energy. But some amount of food will get into the waste. Is it? Food will get wasted. What happens then? We will remove it from our body to the outside. Is it? That removal of undigested food from our body itself is called as excrete or excretion. The process itself is called as excretion. And so many organisms, even human beings, have very good excretory organs. Is it? Very good excretory organs have been developed in us. But what about other organisms just like microorganisms and insects and also some other kinds of animals which do not have good excretory organs? Is it? They will do that just by using their skin. Okay, just like respiration, they are using single body cell to do all other life activities. That may be a respiration, that may be a excretion, or that may be absorption or swallowing of food. That is amoeba is a very good example for that. In amoeba, you know that in amoeba there is no differentiated organs, but the skin of amoeba means the layer of amoeba which is surrounded by cytoplasm, and this is having only one food vacuole. This itself perform all other activities: respiration, excretion, digestion, and swallowing of food and excretion of undigested food. Okay, all these things are done by this amoeba with only a single cell. Okay, so well defined excretory or respiratory or digestive organs are not there in smaller organisms which are microscopic in nature. Okay, only well differentiated respiratory and excretory organs are formed in higher organisms. Okay, in higher organisms. You will learn about this in your next upcoming classes. Okay, next upcoming classes means in your next year, that may be in 8th, 7th or in 10th standard. Okay, now next one is respond to stimulus. Is it? Respond to stimulus. Whenever someone calls us by our name, it is like, hey Rajeshwari, come here. What I will do? I will give response to them. Just if I am busy, I am saying that I will come later, I am busy. Is it? Or else I will say like that, yes, I will come, wait. Yes, I am coming. Is it? Like we are giving response to the stimulus which have been given by the surrounding nature. And when you come with the hiccups, is it? What will we do? We will drink some water. Is it? This is the best example for response to stimulus. And what about other organisms? You just have seen some kind of worms. When you touch, it will roll itself. Is it? That is the response.
Observe this picture. You just see this video. Here they have shown touch me not plant. Here touching is stimuli and curling or folding of leaves is the response. Have you ever seen this kind of touch me not plant? Yes. Whenever you touch it, they will fold their leaf. Is it? Observe it. How beautiful it is. That is why it is also called as touch me not plant. And we shall see some other example here. Another one is plant is responding to the light, that is sunlight. Have you seen that sunflower plants? Yes, you might have seen that. Take a small platted plant and place it near the window through which a sunlight can enter. Leave it for a few days, and after a few days, what do you observe? Definitely you will observe that, or you will notice that after a few days the plant has bent towards the window from where actually the sunlight was coming. Is it? This shows that plants also give response to the light. They give positive response to the light, which is actually the source of food for that. Okay, this is known as phototrophism.
When you touch it, it will fold its leg. Is it? This is how actually the plants will respond. So, every organism which is living on earth, if it is a living thing, if it is a living organism, then definitely it will give response to the stimulus given by the environment. Okay, it will give response to the stimulus given by the environment. Okay, this is about response to stimulus. Next one is reproduce. Reproduce. Is it? Reproduction is one of the natural thing, and it makes their progeny to continue to the next generation. Is it? You just observe. If no one is reproducing, if no one has reproduced, if no animals are capable of reproduction, what happens? Yes, of course, only the primitive organisms which were there when actually the earth was formed was there on the earth itself. Is it? And we cannot imagine ourselves that we will get birth by our parents. If there is no reproduction process, we will not born. Is it? We are not going to be here now. So, every organism has a capability of giving birth to their young ones. Okay, to continue their progeny to the next generation. Okay, what is reproduction? Reproduction means every organism has a special property to give birth to their young ones, to continue their progeny to the next generation, This itself is called as reproduction, and every living organism will reproduce, will give birth to their young ones. That may be by hatching eggs, or that may be by giving birth to their babies. Okay, some kind of birds and some kind of animals and some kind of platypus. This is a mammal, but it's laying eggs. Is it like that? So many animals, so many birds will lay eggs, and they will get hatched after some days, and they will their young ones will come out. The best example is, you might have seen egg. Is it? Egg of a hen. Is it? What happens? It will lay egg and it will start giving warmth to that. Is it? It sits on it to make it somewhat warm, and at last the egg will hatch and a small chicken will come out of that. Is it? Like that, so many organisms lay eggs and hatch later, and the young ones will be out of them. But we human beings and some other animals just like cow, buffalo, all those are giving birth to their young ones. They are not laying the eggs. Okay? Some animals will lay eggs, and some birds or animals will lay eggs, and some animals will give birth to their young ones directly. Like this, the reproduction process taking place in every living organisms. Okay? Next one is growth. Is it? If we born, then we have to grow. If we sow a seed inside the ground, what happens? Yes, after some days, it gets into a small plant, and after some days, a few years, few months later, it will be into a big plant or a big tree. Is it? It has grown from a single seed to a big tree. This is the growth. How the growth is possible in plants. And the growth itself is possible only at the tip of the end of the branches. Is it? at the end of the branches, the new leaf will eject and the whole tree will be developed, and also in the root parts, but not at the trunk part. Okay, at the trunk part, it will not grow. It will take the width. Is it? It will take the width. Means in the width size, it will get enlarged, but it will not grow like this. Okay, it will, in plants especially, the growth is possible at the tip of the branches. A new leaf will be ejecting from tip of the branches. You might have seen this in your home. If you have some kind of plant, best example is rose plant. Is it? And it will take the width. Width is if a stem of the plant at the first, the stem of the plant is very thin. After few days, it will become large, enlarged. Is it? And then how does this growth happens in human beings? In human beings, the growth is up to some extent. Okay, up to some extent. After that, the growth will start, and then what happens? The width size starting expanding. For a best example is human being. When parents give birth to their young ones, what happens? It was very small baby. Is it? Small baby will be there. After a few months, it grows, and it grows into older woman or a man. Is it? Like us. And up to 18 years, the growth is possible. But after 18 years, when they get attain puberty, at that stage, the growth stops. Okay, the growth stops, and then they start accumulating the fat contents in their body, and they will get fat, or if they lose fat, they will get thin. That much. But they can't grow taller and taller until they die. Okay, here in human beings or some other animals, the growth is possible only up to certain ages. Okay, up to when they attain puberty. After that, they will not grow taller. Okay, they will not grow taller. This is about the growth. And you might have seen that chicken is going to grow. After some days, it will become hen. Is it? And kittens are becoming cat, and puppies are becoming dog. All these are the best example for growth. Okay. Next one is show movement. Show movement. Yes, of course, living organisms will move from one place to another place in search of food, water, or shelter. Is it? You might have seen some of the puppies near your home. What they will do? If they have enough amount of food and shelter, they will stay there. If they do not get food, they will move away from there to in search of food, in search of shelter, or in search of water. And birds will migrate from one place to another place in search of food, or for the process of reproduction, or to get shelter. Is it? So here every living organism show movement. They move from one place to another place. But my dears, you might have some questions in your mind. Our teacher told that plants to have living things, and they to have life, but they are not going from one place to another place. They will stand there itself, no? Is it? But they show movements by using their branches. Is it? By using their branches. How does they move? Yes, they will show movement by using their branches. They will make up and down. Is it? And the leaf will fall off. Is it? And they will show some kind of movements like this by using their leaves and branches. Is it? And when wind blows in a very high pitch, what happens? They will bend their trunk. If the stem is very weak, they will bend. Is it? All those are movements shown by the plants. Okay? Yes, my dears, like this we can analyze ourselves. If a organism has all these characteristics, then definitely it is a living organism. Let us remind what are those characteristics once again. First one, it needs food. First one, it needs food. Second one, it respires. It respires. Third one, it excretes. It excretes. Fourth one, responds to stimulus. It will give response to the stimulus given by the environment. 7 main characteristics of a living organisms. Okay, my dears, I hope you understood what are actually the characteristics of living organisms. In our next class, we shall discuss about habitats. Okay, already you know that what is habitat. We have learned this in my previous classes, is it? And there are mainly two types of habitats, that is terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat. Which animals live on terrestrial habitat, and again terrestrial habitat is divided into some other parts, and aquatic habitat is divided into some other parts. We shall discuss about this in our next class. Okay, until then we have to read your textbook. Okay, if you have any doubts, just call me or message me through your WhatsApp.